Alright everyone, today we are going to be looking at the Gorosei concepts that I made. Of course, Gorosei, we won't see them for a while, but there will be spoilers, so click off if you don't want to see it. But the Gorosei should come earliest as 6th anniversary. We could see Saturn, of course the first Gorosei and the most well-known Gorosei we know. So the 6th anniversary, hopefully we will get main EX Gorosei Saturn. But if not, 6.5 definitely, and then I think 7th we'll see more Gorosei members, but they're still pretty far off. But of course, Gorosei I'm most hyped for. These are the characters I want the most. I want them more than Blackbeard, V2, Shanks, Scarp, or whatever. I want them the most over anyone right now. But alright, first we will talk about Marcus Mars, the bird guy, bird yokai, whatever he is exactly. Not sure what he is exactly, but so for him, I made his skill 1, a skill like King's V1, where he can fly at the enemy, change into his full beast form, fly at the enemy, something like that. And for his skill 2, this is the most least known Gorosei member, so we don't know much about him. He barely done anything. He's just been hunting for Vegapunk. He hasn't fought anyone yet, other than fly into the dome or whatever. But for his skill 2, I put flies in a circle, makes a tornado, but alternately you can make him a runner, I think, and give him a attack where he turns into his beast form, flies up in the air, and comes down on the enemy's treasure if he's a runner. But I need to make some of the Gorosei's attackers. I think he could be runner, he could be attacker. I think he could be a defender too, honestly. A lot of Goroseis could be any type, to be honest. All 3 types, if not. But for him, I made him attacker. And of course, I think he won't be in his hybrid form. I think it will be just like King or something, where he can transform using his skill into skill 1. Also, I think the Gorosei are going to have some kind of quirk, just like the Flame Lunarian Flag, you know, all the Seraphim are getting, stuff like that. So I think either they could have a shield, or they could have shield like Yamato. So just normal shield, whatever, they have extra HP, shield breaks, whatever, and then they can do damage to you, tank and attack. Or alternately, what I like the most is they could have something where if the enemy hits you, they'll take damage. It won't be a lot of damage, but just like, imagine hybrid Yamato, where someone uses a gauntlet or whatever attack, a multi-hit attack, you're gonna get frostbite and basically die just by hitting them. That's what I think they could have. I don't know what other quirk they could have. There's multiple things they could have, but those are the 2 I came up with. Also, I gave them, I hope this happens, I don't know if OPBR will do it, but transformations. We need transformation characters finally. It's been 6 years or whatever, almost. And I think we are almost due for transformation characters. How I think that will work is after a minute you can transform. So when there's 2 minutes left in the match, you can transform into your hybrid / full beast form / whatever character can transform into something. And yeah, just 2 minutes left, maybe a minute 30 to make it not OP. As OP, it will probably make them really OP, but yeah, that'd be cool. Just start out in the Gorosei's base form and then slowly transform into hybrid / whatever. Alright, for the next Gorosei we have is Saturn to talk about. I made him a black element attacker. I could alternately see him as a defender. Of course, we know Saturn has poison, so I gave him a skill 1 poison jab attack, where he can just one-hit the enemy from long range, maybe poison them. And for skill 2, I gave him a gauntlet kind of attack, where he uses his legs just like only Robin's attack, which is a multi-hit, like stretch attack with his legs, where he multiple hits them, can poison them also. Alternately, his normals could poison people, I think. And I also think if he's a defender, his skill 2 could instead be, he could like poison on the flag or something, so enemies can't grab it or something like that. Just like Whitebeard's attack. Think like Whitebeard's attack. They can't grab the flag until they destroy the ground that came up out, whatever. Something like that. But yeah, that's what I think Saturn will be. Of course, Saturn has, we know the most about him. We have his hybrid form, his full beast form, and of course his normal form. So I hopefully think they're gonna make his hybrid form the EX and not his human form, unless if they make transforming character like I hope they do, where after a minute you can use your skill 2 or something and then it'll transform you just like a nuke skill, something like that. That'd be cool. And I think he will alternately have an attack that he could go into his full beast form, not for long, just like a page 1 kind of attack, where he transforms for a moment, does a like jab or something, and then untransforms. But next we have is Jupeter. We have the worm guy from Dune, I believe. Well, not from Dune, but people always compare it to Dune because there's no yokai after a worm thing like him. But yeah, I've never seen Dune. I've seen the worm though. But yeah, for him I made him Red Defender. I also gave him, I gave him 2 alternates. He could have a runner or defending form. Could also be attacker. Of course, I think he's going to start off in his base form. And then for skill 1 maybe, he can go underground and come up on the enemy's flag. And then for skill 2, he has some like sucking kind of thing where he can suck the enemy up and like whack him or something. As we saw with Luffy and the Giants, he used a suction kind of attack. And it didn't really work, but those are the only really 2 attacks he done. Also, they could just do a giant one. But ultimately, if he's a defender, I think his skill 1 could be where he goes underground, just like Senior Pink, and then he can just stay on the flag while he's underground. No one can really do much to you. Of course, some stuff will hit you, but you're mostly tanky and they can't really do anything. And then after you let go or the time limit runs out, you'll come up and just like eat them or something. Of course not eat them, but like do an attack that knocks them back or something like that. But that's what I think Jupeter will be. Next Gorosei we will talk about is Topman, the bull guy. For him, I made him a blue defender. I think this Gorosei member could be any of the 3 types. I think he has speed, attack, and defense, so he could be any 3. I made him a defender, but alternately he could be a runner with some kind of like Frankie motorcycle type skill where he can run forward really fast. But alternately I made him a defender. I gave him an attack just like page 1 where he transforms into his bull. Maybe he like does a charge forward just like page 1 and then jumps back on the flag and does a spin. Of course, we don't want it exactly like page 1. So we want some new concept, but that kind of concept where he does an attack, he runs at the enemy, knocks him over, and then he jumps back on the flag. So if someone's grabbing it, they can't, and you knock them off. And alternately, of course, if he's a runner, I said, he could have an attack where he just charges, and then his skill 2 can, I don't know, just be a tail whip or something like that. But I made him a blue defender. I think all the Gorosei will have their own typing. Of course, there's 5 Gorosei members, perfect. So I think, yeah, one of them, it doesn't matter. Either Gorosei could be any typing, but I made this one blue. And then for the next Gorosei, my favorite Gorosei personally, and my new favorite character in all of One Piece, I gave Saint Ethan White Runner role. He could also be attacker, but I think he seems like the fastest Gorosei, so I think runner would fit him the most. So of course we've seen him run around the island taking out like half the pacifistas instantly. And we also know he has ice / frostbite they'll give him. Maybe they'll give him both. Maybe he can freeze the enemy and give them frostbite at the same time. Would be kinda OP. But yeah, I think he'll be a runner. I think he'll have a Shilu type / forward attack. And then for his skill 2, he can like jump in the air or something and come down on the enemy's flag. Do a spinning /. Alternately, if he's a attacker, he could do just like a massive flying / attack forward. But yeah, I think Ethan easily could be start off in his hybrid form, and then maybe his full beast sword could get like a nuke skill attack or something like that. But I don't. Hopefully, Saint Ethan isn't going to be starting off in his human form. Since he has his hybrid form unlocked, I hope they start him off in his hybrid form. Same with Saturn. I hope Saturn's not in his human form. Even with transforming, I still want Ethan in his hybrid form at all times. But yeah, I made him white runner, so we have all 5 elements now we made. And finally, though, I want to talk about, of course this will never happen, but it's a cool concept. I made all 5 Gorosei in one. Every single element character. Of course, they would be every single defender, attacker, and runner. They would also be probably like gear 5th. Of course, I know this will never happen, but it looks cool. I'm not sure how they would do this. I could see them making trio characters, but 5 characters, definitely not. But just made the concept. Of course, I think eventually we'll get every single element character. Of course, I also made an alternate emo character. We don't know emo at all yet, but I think emo could be every typing also. And he or she, I'm gonna call it she because I think it's a girl. It looks more like a girl to me. I know it's just a black whatever, like non-outline figure, but I think it's a girl, and I think she could have every single element and could be all the types, and also her skill whatever she could have, like when she destroyed the whatever capital city, whatever that city was called, Lulisha, something like that, I'm not sure what it's called, where it just summons like beam attacks on every flag, a Kaido type attack, a Whitebeard type attack that hits every flag. Would be really cool for her defender attack. But those are all the 5 Gorosei concepts that I made. Hopefully most of them come true. Of course, I don't think, like, I know there's 5 Gorosei. It's going to take a while to make them all EX, but I don't think Bandai could possibly make them non-EX. It'd be very disappointing if they made some of them Bounty Fest and then the others EX, in my opinion. But hopefully they're all EX. They better all be EX. And let's see when the first one drops. Probably the 6th anniversary with Saturn.